Welcome to another episode of Creative Revenue, the show where we sit down with entrepreneurs, filmmakers, creators, and business owners to learn how they turn their passion into profit. Today's guest is a talented filmmaker based in Las Vegas, Nevada. Alongside his wife, they built a filmmaking business by creating original films, collaborating as creative partners, and bringing stories to life while building a business around their craft. We're going to talk about filmmaking, entrepreneurship, working with your spouse, overcoming challenges, and how creators can actually make revenue. Please welcome our guest today, Bobby Peoples. Hey, Bobby, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm
Thanks
good.
for
I'm
inviting me.
good, man. So let's get started, Bobby. Tell me, how did you become a filmmaker?
Wow. Truth be told, I wanted to be an actor. But
Right.
as you can tell, I talk very fast, so I wasn't getting the roles that I really wanted to get.
Right.
And when I would go out for auditions, I would be getting offered like the pimp roles or the thug one or thug two or stuff like that. And I'm like, well, that's not what I wanted to do.
Right,
So I,
right.
so I used to go to I'm dating myself now. I used to go to like Books a Million or Barnes and Nobles and sit in there and read books on filmmaking because one, I didn't have the money to buy the books, and two, I just wanted to learn. So I just started figuring out, well, if I can't get in the movies that I want, I'll just make the movies that I want.
Right.
And I found the love for making movies that I didn't want to act anymore.
Hmm.
That's how that became. Yeah.
And you know what? I always tell people, if you're not getting the roles you want, just make it yourself and become the star.
Yeah.
You don't have to, beg people like us for a role. You can just make your own movie.
Yeah, and that was my mentality. I said, well, I was gonna make it myself, but then I felt like I had more fun being creative because even when you called me just now, I was editing a movie we just finished shooting.
Right.
So even though I wrote the script, I directed the script, I'd be having more fun even editing the script because it gives you more creative freedom. Once you act, that's it. That's all you have right there.
That's it.
Just is recorded. But now I can go from the writing and be creative from writing. I can be creative from the shots that I choose and select. And that can be creative from the way I edit it, the pacing and stuff like that. So I have more control and more creative freedom behind the camera than I do in front of the camera.
So do you direct too, or you just write and edit?
Both. My wife and I co-direct. I write, edit, and produce as well. But my wife, she doesn't edit. She does. We do everything together. We write and direct together, and produce. But she doesn't edit.
Okay, so has your wife always been the writer also, or is she just now starting to write?
Oh no, she's always been writing before we even got together. My wife, Renee, she used to do plays. So while she was doing plays and writing for plays and like that, I was doing film. And then when we got together, she kind of stopped doing play because she figured, hey, she can write and be more creative with the writing side and producer side on the film side. So, and she just kind of fell in love with that. And so we've been doing it together. So we both are writers and we both are directors.
Okay, so did you ever do a short film first, or you just dove into feature films?
No, I did short films first, but I take it back. My very first film was a feature film because I didn't know better. And had I have known better then, I would have just stuck to shorts. But I did a feature film, and then I said, well, let me just do a short just to see if I can do it. And every time I would do a short, it was one of being a feature long anyway because I kept adding stuff to it. So It wasn't like I started that way first. My first job was a feature film.
So how did you fund your feature films?
My very first film, I funded myself. I did a movie called Ghost Rider, which you cannot find any copies nowhere ever because they're all gone, which I'm happy about that. What it was, I got a camera from Walmart, like a $300 camera, little cassette cameras, the mini DV camera, and I had a laptop that my mom bought me from the pawn shop. So I made a movie based around that. You know what I'm saying? It's a possessed laptop. And this was when I was living there in Richmond, Virginia. Mm-hmm. So people wasn't really acting like that then. I couldn't find people to act like you can now. So I would hire people to come do it, for free or whatever the case may be, and they wouldn't show up. So I wound up playing like 3 roles in the movie myself, So it was fun, creative. I was, just doing it, but I kind of learned from that. So when I did that movie, I finished it, and I showed it to a guy. His name is Gary Coleman. I'm sorry, Greg Coleman. And in Virginia, he was a dentist. So, if you read every book I read about the dentist, they have exposable income. So I showed him the movie, and I said, "Hey, this is what I did with nothing, and I didn't have anything." So he gave me $5,000 to shoot my very next film after that, and we became partners. And I did a movie called For Thy Love, which was on Netflix before Netflix switched over from DVDs to streaming. It was on Netflix for a minute, and then we signed to Image Entertainment, and they're not existing anymore. But that was my first distribution deal. So the 5,000 he gave us, we made 25,000 back. So I gave him his 5,000 back, and we split the revenue. So that's how it became, and we bought equipment and stuff like that. And I just kept doing it ever since, and just upgrading it ever since.
And that's a part of creative revenue.
Yeah.
You made it for the low, and then you sold it for higher than your budget.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it's like the stock market. You buy low, sell high.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But at the time, I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, they could have offered me 10,000. I would have been happy. But they offered us 25. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, wow, this is right off the bat my very first serious film. They'd be for 5,000, I made 25 off of that. But like I said, I had to split with my partner and stuff like that, so I didn't get the whole 25.
Right.
But what had happened was, this was in 2004. So what had happened was we got another revenue check, royalty check, a couple years later, which was for $12,000. So again, I split that with him, and I took my 6 and bought my wife and I engagement. So that's how we've been, we've been doing it ever since. So yeah, this is in 2008 when this happened.
Okay, so you've been making films since 2004.
Yeah, well, 2004 for myself, but I've been in the business since 2001 because I used to work for New Millennium Studios in Virginia, Petersburg, Virginia, and that's owned by Tim and Daphne Reed. If you look up Tim, the Aunt Viv from the Fresh Prince.
Yes.
Yeah, I used to work for them. I was her production secretary, and I was her personal driver at one point.
Oh wow!
So, yeah,
I know that. Okay.
Yeah. So that was my very first start into the film business, and I remember on my first day on set, we did a movie called oh my God, what is that movie now called? I had to look it up. It's a movie with Tim Curry's in it. Tim Reed. It's a remake of My Fair Lady, where this older guy falls in love with this younger woman type of situation. But anyway, my first day on set, I was real nervous. I'd never been on a real set before like that. And Daphne Reed was standing right next to me, and I just said, you know what? I'm going to act. If she say no, she just say no. So I started asking her questions like, why is this, is that? Why is this happening this way? And she just openly told me, she said, Bobby, don't be afraid to ask something if you don't know something. Mm-hmm. So that would have been my mentality ever since. So I kind of owe my upbringing in the film industry to Daphne Reed because she would just say, hey, Bobby, don't be afraid. Don't be ashamed to ask. So, and I just started asking questions and I said, well, shoot, I could do this myself. So from 2001 to 2003, 4, I was working for them. And then they business kind of slowed up for me because I was like one of the only black PAs in Virginia at the time. So every major production that came in from 2001 to 2004, 3, I would get picked for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? I worked with Davis. I worked with Colin Farrell. I'm not Colin Farrell. Guy he's playing the new Green Lantern now. I can't think of his name. The older white guy. So I work with a lot of different people on different sets. So but again, I did Trey Songz first video. I was working with Mark Webb.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. When I Gotta Make It. So him with dude from Gerald Levert. So I worked in that music video. As a matter of fact, if you look at that music video, the guy playing the car valet was my producer partner, Greg. I actually got him that job. that video. So that's how I kind of started out just doing stuff like that. And then I said, you know what, I'm gonna do it for myself because I didn't really see an advancement in that studio as far as them hiring me to be a producer or director because it just wasn't there. But I wanted to do that. I didn't want to be a below the line person. I wanted to be above the line. I wanted to be director. I wanted to be a producer, a writer, like that. So I figured I just step it on my own, and I've been doing it ever since.
So because you worked for somebody and kind of learned the business, and you said to yourself, you know what? Let me branch out on my own and be my own entrepreneur and do it myself.
Yeah, well, cause I didn't see any advancement. Now, I love Daphne to death, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But at the time, I didn't see any real advancement for me, and like that. And it's crazy because one of the producers now, who was working back then, is now one of my good friends. His name is Martin Jones, and he's out in Dallas working right now. So he's a big time producer too, and he's like, man, he tells people all the time, I'm a success story because he saw me as a PA now he sees me as a writer, director, producer. You know what I'm saying? So he's seen my growth. So when he see me doing stuff, what we did Lifetime movies, we did the BET stuff like that, and we stopped doing Tubi and Amazon. So he's like, wow, like you really took what we taught you and just put it to your own. So
Right.
and I
So,
just did that.
how did you get the Lifetime and BET projects?
Well, being in the right place at the right time. One of the producers that we worked with when I first moved to Vegas, we did a movie called Night of the Fallen Stars, which was produced for like $110,000. And so I was on Facebook, and I just kind of ran into this guy named Charles, and he worked for this company. I don't want to get the name of the company because it's just kind of just not good right now. But we kind of did a deal for one of my other projects, my project Dexter Jackson Guide to Dating, which we won a lot of awards for with the web series. So that was the initial deal. But I told him, hey, I have this script as well that I want to do. So we came with the financing and did that. So that producer was in the process of doing other things with another director, but that director fell out because I didn't write that. We didn't write that script for the Lifetime movie. Mm-hmm. So, but we kind of built a rapport with them working on this one, and this Night of the Fallen Stars. So I said, hey, because this other project, would you be willing to do it? And I said, yeah. So sure, and we did it, and then next thing I know, a year later, it was on Lifetime. I mean, that's where it went. So it was in the right place at the right time situation, and we just kind of built relationships with those producers to do other things. That's how we did the BET thing, because the same producer, another producer from that set, we worked with that person, and then we worked with her again on our movie Caregiver, which kind of went viral on Tubi and stuff like that, became a Tubi original. So we kind of just went from there, just kind of just being in the right place at the right time and being open-minded and to understanding what they wanted from us. You hear all the time people say, producer and director, they separate because of creative differences. Mm-hmm. And I understand that now, because sometimes when you have an idea, but you got somebody who's up here, and you trying to get there, when they telling you what you want to do, it can't be done, mm-hmm. you got to bite your tongue. You know what I'm saying? So we got tired of biting our tongue after a while and kind of say, you know what, this is not for us. But we bit our tongue to get those lessons to learn to be where we are today.
Exactly. Yeah. When I first started out, I was a PA, worked for free. Mm-hmm. I went on not Backpage. I went Craigslist. Yeah. Went on Craigslist, and I found a short film, and they needed some free workers, and I went there and worked on their sets several days for several films for free, and just learned the business. And then I branched out and made 2 short films, and it's on YouTube right now. And then I made my first feature film, The Foreign Exchange Student, and I've been running ever since.
Oh, yeah, that's what you gotta do. I tell people all the time, you gotta start doing it. If it's right now, it's easier because when we came up, YouTube wasn't what it is now. Right. I can go on YouTube and find out how to do pretty much anything. Filmmaking. So there is really no excuse for anybody out there who say, hey, I want to make movies, but they don't know how. I mean, like, you can just Google how to make films. Literally, just type that in Google or YouTube, and it shows you somebody going to tell you step by step instruction. I even wrote a book. I even wrote a book on it myself.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, so I wrote a book. How
to make movies and money.
Yeah. Manual.
Okay, bad.
Yeah, so I call it a manual because it's definitely a step-by-step instruction. It's not like big words and stuff you don't understand. It's sort of like, this is point A, from point A to point B, from point B to point C. So I wrote a book. It's on Amazon. And we also have it at the Las Vegas Black Film Festival as well. You can get it from there as well. So that's what we do. So I hear people all the time say, hey man, I got this idea for a movie. Okay, great. My book can show you how to write a script. Oh man, I don't know how to write a script. But if you don't see, why give somebody else that opportunity to do something for you that you can do for yourself? Because they're not going to do it for free, and they're not going to do it for a low percentage. Exactly. So if it's your idea, then it should be your the way you come up with it. Because if you get somebody else, then there's part theirs now, and people don't understand that. And then you see on Facebook all the time or on social media, these writer and producer, director going at each other because they didn't understand that part of it.
Yeah. Like I write most of my films, and if I don't write it, I will hire somebody to write it, but it's still um, ownership
Work for hire. It's work for hire.
for hire or whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and which is great. That's understandable. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you know, you and people like us, we've been doing it for so long. We have branched out to do other things like that. Myself and Renee, we love the process. We love the writing process. We write together. You know what I'm saying? That's we about to become 18 years of marriage, so we do everything together. Yeah, we do everything together. So me to give that up to somebody else who's not Renee just feels like I'm giving up on my friendship and my marriage. So that's why we do everything in house.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Okay. So are your movies like mainly on Tubi or mainly on Lifetime?
Right now we mainly on Tubi. Well, I can't say that because we got a lot on Tubi as well because that's the most popular free streaming service out there.
Yeah.
We on Amazon, we on Vudu, we on Zumo. You know, we on other platforms. We on Mansa, something like that. We only got one movie on Lifetime. You know what I'm saying? That was 2022. So that's for almost 4 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
You know, we did the BET, the Business of Christmas. We were just executive producers on that by credit name only. You know what I'm saying? Right. Because relationships that we had. So, and that was in 2023, something like that. So we like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? You know, when it comes to the independent Black filmmakers struggle, stuff like that. We got stuff that's coming to BET in the future. Okay. You know what I'm saying? We're still working out those deals right now. We got 2 movies. Christmas movie that Renee and I directed, and then another movie that Renee actually starred in.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you know, Renee's an actress too, and people don't realize that. She did play, but she was also on Survivor's Remorse, the show that was on
Yes.
Yeah, she was on that show. She was in season 4 of that show, but she's done a lot of other stuff, you know, prior to that too as well. So Renee does get in front of the camera from time to time. When it comes to other people's stuff, I had to force her to be in front of the camera on our own stuff.
Right.
But somebody else said, "Hey, Renee, you want to do this?" She gonna jump on it real quick. But I said, "Hey, I need to do our movie." And he's like, "I don't know, get to somebody else." I'm like, "Man, that's how much money we can save and just put you on the camera."
Yeah, like hey, be creative because like sometimes you're the star, you're the camera guy, you're the sound guy. Some like I'm saying, depending on your budget, you might do several different jobs. You know.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we are like we preach. We are actors advocate. We want to give actors opportunities that they're not getting. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why we like to work with the people that we work with because they're not getting opportunities they should be getting because they are very good actors. And now, if you're not social media popular or Instagram popular, you know what I'm saying, like that, you're not getting those opportunities in other bigger productions. So they come to us, and we've been more than happy to give them the opportunities if provided that they can act and they are good for the role. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody who audition may not be good for that particular role. Doesn't mean that you're not good. You know what I'm saying? So just want to get understanding for that as well. Because people audition one time and didn't get the part and don't audition for that company no more. I'm like, wait. It's not that you wasn't good, it's that you wasn't good for that particular role. You know what I'm saying? So get out of your head and you know, and come back. And so that's why you see producers work with the same people over and over because it's reliability. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, we're not people who be wishy-washy. You know, we had a person on the set we just finished shooting. It was a small part, and this person called the day of, "Hey, I can't make it because I live such and such far away." Like, well, you knew the schedule 2 weeks ago. You know, we sent out schedule. We didn't send out yesterday. We sent out 2 weeks ago. So if you knew that you live far from the set and that you didn't have a good ride to get there, then you should have said 2 weeks ago, not the day of. But again, Renee and I are writers. So we said, okay, cast, crew, give us 10 minutes. We went to the side, rewrote some stuff, gave other people's lines who were there, gave them the line that the other person was to have, and then no one's the wiser.
Right. So Bobby, I see that you showed me that book earlier. How many streams of income do you have in the film game?
Oh, wow. Obviously from film. Renee and I, we also have our own small distribution company. We're not full-fledged yet. We're not putting it out there for everybody else. We also distribute some of our own content as well. That we starting out like that. So we got a distribution company. We also write for other people. When hired to the movie we just did. We wrote for that for somebody else, and we are a production company for hire. So yeah, anything we can do that, you know, depending on if people want to do it. You can also, and go to our website and see our prices. We put everything out there. So that way you can see what it's going to cost you to make it yourself. If you unless you want to hire somebody else to do it for you, you know what I'm saying. But you can't do it yourself by buying my book. But if not, if you want to hire us to do it, then this is we're going to do step by step from our book, regardless.
So what's the website?
TPN1.com. It's the letter TPN, the number 1.com.
.com. Okay. So when you make a movie, do you do like ultra low budget or high budget feature film?
Well, it all depends. Like I said, we've done movies for $5,000. We've done movies for $500,000. You know what I'm saying? So it all depends on the script, the budget, and the financier. If we financing it ourselves, then we might do a low. If somebody else is financing it, we might do 6 figures. You know what I'm saying? So we've done several 6-figure deals. You know, since we've been doing this.
Okay. So we make a movie. Let's say you make a movie for 5,000-10,000 or whatever, and that it's your movie, right? Do you do the red carpet thing, or do you just go straight to like streaming?
Both. You can do a premiere. We've done premieres before here in Vegas, and in Atlanta, because people will know Renee and I, we actually lived in Atlanta for like 15, 16 years before we moved to Vegas.
Oh, I know that. Okay.
Yeah, so we did premieres all over, and it's a way to give back to the community, obviously, but we also make money from it as well, from sponsorships, from banner sponsors, gift bag sponsors, stuff like that, and venue sponsors a lot of times. So yeah, we have done full walling for premieres and stuff like that, and then we go straight to distribution. However, we won't make a movie unless we know we have distribution in place. That's the only thing that we won't do. We won't just go make a movie and say, okay, what we're going to do with it. We already know prior to, okay, once this movie is done, what company is going to get it and who we're going to take it to, because we've already worked out the deals and the details on how we want this to go.
Okay, so to be smart about it, when you're writing the movie, do you already know where you're going to go with the film then, or not until after the writing process is over?
Sometimes after, but a lot of times, as we're writing, we kind of know, okay, this would be good for this producer, this distribution company, this would be good for this one, so forth and so forth, like that. So we have relationships with a lot of distributors, so we can pitch. You know, we say, hey, we want to do this idea. Are you interested? Or they say, no. Okay, we'll go to the next one. Hey, we got this idea. You want to pitch it? Because, like, for example, the caregiver, the one that went viral on Tubi, we pitched that to another distribution company. At the time, we called it what do we call that? It was something. It wasn't caregiver. It was something else. Can't think of it now. But we pitched it to another distributor, and they said no. So okay, no problem. You know what I'm saying? Because that distributor was going to give us less money anyway. They wasn't going to give us what we, the right way to do it. So we pitched it to another distributor / producer, and they gave us $500,000 to make it. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? And so what our paycheck was to make it would have been the whole budget from this other distributor. Actually, it wouldn't have been the whole budget. It would have been like not even. We made more from the paycheck than we would have got from this other distributor to make the movie. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. So sometimes you'll give the distributor the script, they'll read it, and then they'll decide, okay, we'll give you the budget for the film.
Yeah, exactly. It's a pitch.
It's a pitch. Do you have to have stars like LA stars in your movie to get the type of money?
It'd be great to have people attached to it. Yeah, I mean that's always a good way to do that. If not, you just do it. Renee, now we've done so many projects, so our name and our quality of work is already up there. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like we're not slouches ourselves. So we can say, hey, this is produced by Bobby Renee, producers of Caregiver, producers of Taboo and all that stuff. So that's kind of part of our pitch because we are a husband and wife duo. You know what I'm saying? So that's our marketing, not say scheme, but that's our marketing strategy there. Because we come as a dual package. You get 2 directors for the price of 1.
Exactly. So when do you decide to put an LA star in your movie or just go with lower known people?
Well, we try to reach out. We try to see what roles that we have. So, okay, this might fit this person. Like, prime example, the movie we just did, Dangerous Ties 2. One of the roles we're going to get Corrupt from the Dog Pound to do it. But
Oh, okay.
yeah, we were going to get him to be part of the project. Well, one, because he's on the West Coast and Vegas is 4 hours from LA, so it would have been it would have been a long trip for him. But going through going through people like it kind of went nowhere. Mm-hmm. So me being impatient, I contacted another actor, which was Khalil Kane from Juice. I think you might have worked with him too.
Yes, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we contacted him and said, hey, he's in New York. So hey, I got this role. It's a 1-day shoot. Would you mind doing it? And we negotiated the specifics. And he said, yeah. We flew him in, shot him, flew him back out. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and so we have somebody in mind, and we try to reach out to them. I tell people, IMDb Pro is your best friend. You better pay for it. You know what I'm saying? If you're trying to reach out to celebrities, singers, and stuff like that, I mean, that is the best way to do it. That's why I've done it. I'll just go on there and look. Hey, I want to work with this person. I'll see if I can find out him or her. I contact their agent if they have an agent, or I contact them directly. A lot of people have direct contacts. You can just contact them directly.
Right.
You can just go from there. One of the projects that we're doing now coming up, I'm still waiting. Hopefully we hear back. I'm trying to get Al B. Shore in it for a day shoot.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll see if we're going back. Well, I say we're going back and forth. We're just waiting to hear back from the initial offer. We made an offer for a 1-day shoot. I mean, me personally, I think it's worth his time, but it may not be worth his time. You know what I'm saying? It depends on what he got going on. But he also frequents Vegas a lot.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So for us, it's like, Vegas is a hot spot. A lot of people come to Vegas.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So, and you just reached out to people, when they're in town, or when they got nothing to do. Hey, what are you doing Sunday? You're not doing nothing. Say, hey, you want to make a couple $1,000 to be in this movie? Sure.
Mm-hmm. So when you get these LA stars, is it primarily for 1 or 2 days, or is it for 7-10 days?
Well, it depends on the role, and it's like I said, when we did Caregiver, we worked with Jennifer and Vanessa. That was a 12-day shoot, and I think they was on there at least eight of those 12 days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, but the deal we worked out with them is that they was also producers on the show as well.
Smart.
Yeah. So it made them want to be there as well. The negotiation that, but it all depends on the role. You know what I'm saying? If they want to star, lead in role, and can we do our schedules first? You know what I'm saying? So before we do any kind of casting audition, we know exactly what days it's going to take to shoot this film. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be on a $5,000 scale or on a larger scale, like 500,000. The difference is just more people on set. So when you got more people on set, you need more time. You need more days to break up, take down. You know what I'm saying? When it's a small crew, hey, move the light over here, move the light over there, boom, we're going to the next set. You know what I'm saying? So, but bigger set, we got to rent the grip truck. We got to get everybody, gaffers, unload, stuff like that, move from set to set. So you just got to make sure that this is my $5,000 budget shoot days, and this is my 50 or 100 or whatever shoot days. So you kind of have that schedule out. Even if you don't have it on paper, you have it at least in your mind. You have an understanding how you wanted to schedule it out, like that. So that way, when you do make an offer to somebody, say, hey, this is going to take 3 days to shoot this scene. It's going to take, or this, to shoot all your scenes in this role. Would you be able to do it? You know what I'm saying? So you just negotiate. Negotiate the day rate.
Okay. And do you also put the actors in like hotels and like fly them out, or they on their own?
Yeah. Obviously, celebrities, we put them in hotels and stuff like that. A lot, because Renee and I, we have a guest room. So, and that was one of the reasons we have a guest room. A lot of actors we bring in from other places actually want to stay with Renee and I because we treat them like celebrities anyway.
Okay.
Nelson Davis, he come all the time. He was, matter of fact, Nelson, that's why we love Nelson so much, because when we didn't have the money to directly pay Nelson his word, we still don't, but when we lived in Atlanta, he would come and sleep on our couch.
What?
He slept on our couch to do that, and he got, and it's a joke now, but he was like, man, when we moved to Vegas, we sold the couch. He's like, man, how you gonna sell my bed? That was the fun thing. But for now, when we bring actors in, they stay in the guest room, which is next door to my office. We had Portia Bunch Hall stay here. We had Siobhan Majoy stay here. Rashida Randall, Natia Nicole. We Mark Buford. We have I mean, I can go on for days and days. A lot of people want to come and stay with us, but if they don't, we put them in an Airbnb,
Right.
which we're going to double as one of our sets regardless. So if we need a set, hey, we're
Exactly.
we're going to shoot an Airbnb you got. When we did a movie with Brittany Monet down in Florida, she came out here for a week. We put her in the Airbnb. We gave her because we have a car, extra car, so we let her have a car to drive around Vegas and stuff like that. And we got in her Airbnb. When she came, when we picked her from the airport, we took her straight to the grocery store to buy the food that she wanted. We bought the food that she had to call the pocket for anything. We bought her food for her room, for the Airbnb. I mean, obviously she went out and did other stuff like that, but her necessities, her breakfast food and stuff that she wanted to snack on, something like that, we pay for all of that.
So basically, you treat your actors like royalty.
Yeah, because without them, we wouldn't really have the movie. You know what I'm saying, like that. And on top of that, we rarely do 12-hour days. So when you come to Vegas, it's like a vacation for sure.
Yes.
We don't really shoot 12-hour days. You might be on set 8-9 hours tops. Unless we schedule something out or something happened. Then I think we may have done 12-hour days maybe once or twice on a project, here in Vegas. But for the most part, we're doing 8-9 hour days.
8-9 hour days. Okay.
8-9 hour days. So you're not here all day. Once we got you in set, and once you're done, you're wrapped. You got a car. You can go do what you need to do. If you need to go somewhere else, you want to go down to the strip. Go. We brought actors in who like to gamble.
Okay.
So we live 12 minutes from the strip. So it just do what they do. Renee's a good cook. When Portia comes, Portia been here a few times. She's like, look, when she come to Vegas, she want to come stay here with us because
right.
Morning. Siobhan, even Siobhan would come when she's not even filming. When she comes to Vegas, she comes, holler at us, and she want to stay with us. She comes stay with us, something like that. So we kind of adopted her as one of our goddaughters.
Yes,
because that's just how this how we became. So it become a family affair with us.
Yeah, Siobhan is a sweetheart.
Yeah, we love Siobhan. We worked with her on 3 projects so far. She's been doing some good things. So hopefully we get her back in here again later this year or next. I'm gonna do some stuff. But if we don't, we definitely proud to see what she's doing now. But I think we get her back because it's just a family thing with us. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that with the right role that comes up and she's interested, we'd be more than happy to have her back.
How do you get your talent for your films?
Well, we have a database. So if you go to our website, we tell people to sign up for our newsletter. We go there first. We have like 5,000 plus subscribers to that. So people sign up for our newsletter, and then when we're casting, we send out directly to your email what we're casting for and what we're looking for directly. So that way you ain't got to go to Facebook or something like that. You get an email from us directly. Now, if we don't get what we want, because sometimes people don't check the emails and they don't this, that, and the third, then we put out on social media, hey, we're looking for this, that, and the third, and it goes from there. But for the most part, we go to our database first.
Okay, perfect. And so for payment, do you wait 30 days to pay him, or do you pay him on the last day of shooting?
We try to pay them within the last day of shooting. If not the last day, within a couple of days. It all depends on what we're doing. Like, say, for instance, we're filming Monday through Friday, and you wrap on Wednesday. Well, if we wrap late on Wednesday and we got to get up early on Thursday, we might not pay it till Friday. But we'll let you know, hey, this is what's happening because we're, we got to go through and make sure we have all your payment information and stuff like that. We want to know what you paid for because we might do it with Zelle, Cash App, or stuff like that. So we just say, hey, you're done. We're wrapped. And for the most part, it's no more than 2 or 3 days before they get paid. You know what I'm saying? Right. Unless, we're human too. We might have overlooked it. And then somebody say, hey, I didn't get my money. Oh, I'm sorry. Here you go. And we go from there. But we kind of be open communication on that. But we also put out there, even in our auditions, this is what the role pays. So that way you don't even audition unless you agree with what we're paying. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the pay. That's the pay. That's the pay. You know what I'm saying? If you want to do it, great. If not, no hard feelings. We understand that. Okay. But there are some actors out there who are not getting that, and they want it. So, and they want opportunity.
Right. So for a filmmaker who's just starting and they wanted to get into the film business, what are some advice you might give them?
Don't lie. Don't say this movie gonna make this film. It's gonna be on Netflix. It's gonna be on these big platforms. Unless you have for sure, agreements signed. Don't lie to your actors. Say, hey, we're gonna make this project the best we can, and then pay or don't pay, whatever you're gonna do, but make sure it's up front. They know exactly what they're getting into. That would be my first thing to tell people. Because if people will rather believe in you more than the project. If they believe in you, then they're gonna follow you. But if you lie to them, then you've lost that person forever.
Yes, yes. You don't want to lie to them. You want to keep everything honest. And even if you have a disgruntled actor or crew member, walk them to the side and talk to them and see what's going on or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a grown up thing to do. That's definitely a grown up thing to do. For us, we're a set crew. It's me, my wife, and I call my two babies, Angel and Kat. You might have seen them. They're both actors too, but it's just us four on our set. I might bring in my niece Stephanie from time to time, and Cherie, who they're all actors who want to be on set. So we kind of keep it, to that standard. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all family. This is so it's not really any crew beef. If there's any issues, it's with the actor, him or her feeling they're not being appreciated or they're not getting the role opportunity they want to get. But again, we tell people up front, this is what the role is. This is what, if there's any nudity, if there's any kissing, if there's anything that's going to have you touching another human being other than their hand, we want you to know up front before you take this audition or before you take this role.
Exactly. Yeah. Be transparent and something like that.
Always.
Always.
Yeah, and we do our schedule too. We said, like, hey, these are the shoot dates of this role. Are you available? You know what I'm saying? Not that you're shooting other projects, which is fine. But if we need you on these days, now we might not have the exact time. It might fluctuate, but we want to at least have you at least 2 weeks ahead of time. You know that you'll be filming on July 7th. That day, we need you.
Mm-hmm.
And because sometimes you get the actor say, "Yeah, well, I'm filming in the morning on this project. Can I come to y'all in the evening?" Maybe not. It depends on the timing. How big your role is. But for the most part, if we give you a schedule 2 weeks ahead of time, then there shouldn't be any conflict.
Do you have any problems with being tardy to sets with the actors? And if you do you penalize them?
Luckily, we have no problem with tardiness. We like I said, we schedule enough time ahead of time. To get it happen. We did have a tardiness, but it wasn't the actor's fault. It was my fault because I gave them the wrong time on the call sheet.
Gotcha.
I told them 9, and I told Renee they're supposed to be here at 8. So it was my fault that the little girl didn't show up on time. So that was on me. But for the most part, we haven't had any problem with people being late like that, because if they are late, they let us know ahead of time. Or again, on the last project, the lead actor said, "Hey, look, I don't get off work until 2:00. I could be on set at 2:30." She told us that a week ahead of time, so we were able to shift our shoot schedule. Okay, well, that's not a problem. We push everything back an hour, and we had stuff we could shoot before she got there. So by the time she got there, put her in hair and makeup, and she was ready to shoot. So it's like there was no time wasted on that. So as long as you communicate with us ahead of time, we are able to move things around. Or okay, well, we'll take your scene and put it on a different day. It's all about communication.
All about communication. So before we go, what are one of the biggest mistakes you've made as filmmaker?
Trying to collab with everybody. I know that you can't work with everybody. It's impossible because it's different attitudes, it's different egos and mindsets and like that. So, we try to encourage people to do their own stuff, but then when people try to, take advantage of the situation, I pull back and then I become an asshole.
Right.
So we don't do that anymore. We don't try to work with everybody. We don't try to, hey, let's do a project together. If it doesn't make sense to do that, if I'm a writer and you're a writer, then why are we working together? You know what I'm saying? We're not writing this script together. We're not directing together. You know what I'm saying? If I'm not bringing equal resources, it doesn't make sense to me to say, hey, John, let's go do this project together. But hey, I got the idea, but you got the cameras, and you in Houston, you wherever we're going to shoot the stuff. So you got to fly everybody in, it's like that. But all I came to you was the script. There shouldn't be a 50-50 process on that. And most people come with ideas or not even a script, and they want to be 50-50 partners. I'm like, well, we're not doing that, because if I got to break out my resources, write the script, and do this, that, and the third, and all you doing is coming to set and trying to be a boss and not doing anything, and you're not paying for nothing, then it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, a lot of people do that. I mean, a lot of people will say, "Hey, I got an idea," and that's it. I'm like, okay, you know, you got an idea, great, but you don't have the budget for it. You want me to do everything? I'm like, that ain't how it really works. That's not how it really
Right.
works.
And we've had people do that and they get mad about the situation. You know what I'm saying? We've had people who've been on our sets, work with our crew, work with our people, took our people to go do another project.
Mm-hmm.
That project failed. Now they want to come back hollering up. But before, when they left, oh, I don't need Bob Renee. I don't need this and the third. Fuck all. Fuck them. Fuck her. Fuck, you know what I'm saying? They was just doing all that shit. And then they're going to do a project. Those same egos are now going at each other because they don't have the sensibility to understand that no one's bigger than the project, but they want to be the bigger person in the project. Now they're battling it on Facebook, cursing each other out. I'm like, hey, don't come back over here. Y'all go do you.
Yeah.
Over
It's
here.
that easy. Yeah. They think it's so easy to be the boss. It's not easy being the boss.
No,
It's not
because
easy.
people think boss means yelling and screaming. No, boss means leading and leading by example.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm ex-military. I'm not shooting military, but one of the things we say in the military is all orders come from the top.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So if I'm the producer or director on top, then if I'm giving out bad orders, if I'm giving out bad energy, then all that's going to trickle down to the set. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say it's not an ego for me. If we having fun on set, I'm joking on people, joking on me. It's great. We loving on each other. No one is bigger than the project. No one, not even me. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, we all come here to do the project together. If I got my ass on my shoulders that day, strict me the fuck out. Just say, hey, look, Bobby, you need to chill out. Go sit in the corner somewhere, count to 10, come back. You know what I'm saying? Because we're here to make a project. So I make sure I come to set how I want people to be on my set.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. You know, you have to be a great leader, and a people person, and patience.
Yep.
Patient.
You gotta have peace, and again, like I said, when you're a director, you gotta have people ask you the same question 15 minutes. The same question, give you the same response, but you have to be able to understand. Hey, they just want to make sure that they have understanding, and they make sure they're clear. If they come to you, that way they respect your understanding, they respect your authority to ask you those questions. So be patient with them, even if they ask the same question over and over in different ways. Be patient with them. You know what I'm saying?
Patient with them.
If you have to, show them physically what the process is, and they understand. But if you're not able to do that, and you be like, oh my God, this motherfucker getting on my nerves, or this bitch getting on my nerves, like then you're not fit to be the director. If all you gotta do is yell and scream at people, no, get it right. This is not what I said. No. That's not. All you're doing now is frustrating the actor. You know what I'm saying? I get it. Some people want word for word directing. Like that's great, because you wrote the script. You want people to value your wordplay. But if you wrote the play or the movie 4 or 5 years ago, sometimes the verbiage and slang has changed. So you know what I'm saying. So you got to make hey, look, how would you say this line if you're not unable to say it properly or deliver it how I wrote it? This is the context of that line. How would you do this? How would you put this in the scene or this scenario? And then you work backwards from that point. Okay, well, since you would do it this way, say it like this. Say it this way. Do it that way. You know what I'm saying? So now you have a dialogue, and you're giving that because you hired an actor for their creativity, not just their looks. So you want to make sure you hire this actor and say, okay, this is what I want to do. How would you do this since you're the actor? You're the professional. I wrote this. I'm directing this, but I want to make sure that you, as an actor, are not restrained to this. You're not just you can't move because I'm so an asshole that I say you got to say my words word for word. We don't do that. I tell people if we make this movie 30 years down the line to reboot this movie and they got to do your character over, you have to set the bar for that character. Whoever the next actor comes, they got to do it 10 times better than you do it. So you want in front of the camera, not me. So if you just come reciting lines and that's it, then you're not giving no emotion, then this is definitely not for you and probably the last time we work with you.
Yeah. Do you have table reads?
Yeah, we have table reads. We do it virtually.
Virtually.
Yeah, we just had the physical one recently. This last project, we haven't done one in so long, but we normally do them virtually. If it depends on if everybody's from Vegas, then we do them locally as well. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of time, our movies, we have people come from all over. So it doesn't make sense to have them here come in for 5 men for a table read and then they kind of fly back out a week or two later. So we do it virtually.
Okay, and so can you tell us what to expect from you in the future for your films?
We've got a movie coming out now called Blood and Lace. Should be coming out pretty soon. Hopefully within the next couple of weeks. We have a movie coming out in August called The Other Sister. What we did, we did with Brittany Bonet coming out. I'm in post now for a movie called In My Pain, which is based on a book called In My Pain, I Found My Purpose, autobiography by Sharon McKinney. So I'm doing that now. And then my wife and I, we're in pre-production on 2 films. One called The Trad Wife, which is about, is a little psychological thriller situation. And we got one called You Got It Bad that we're bringing Nelson up here to do next month from Vegas, from the Carolinas.
So you stay busy.
Oh yeah. This is our full-time job. We don't do anything else. We get up, sleep, make movies. That's all we do. You know what I'm saying? We write, direct, and I literally just wrote yesterday. I wrote a micro drama for one of my baby girls called Angel Lynn, one of my crew members. She's also an actress too.
Okay.
I wrote a vertical drama that we're going to be doing with her. But in between those 2 films we're doing, I wrote like 10 episodes. See how that do. But I'm working on the Bible as well. So if it does well, have we planned to do, then we're going to do several seasons of that. But yeah, so I'm constantly in my office writing. Renee will be up there writing, stuff like that, and then we might go off for lunch and do some writing together. But this is where we at.
It's a blessing to have your wife with you every step of the way.
Oh yeah, I couldn't do it with anybody else. That's just like I said before, me giving a writing credit to somebody else or doing this with somebody else would be like me giving away my wife, divorcing my wife, because this would bring us together. We're creating babies with our projects. Even though we have 7 kids, we're creating babies.
You're right. Okay, so our last question.
Sure.
What is creative? What does creative revenue means to you?
Well, that's a good question. I never really thought about it. Creative revenue. I guess everything that I do everything creatively, making films, writing films, editing films, like that. So everything that I do, writing books about film, that I create revenue from is what I do. So I guess the definition of creative revenue would be me.
Be you, definitely. Books, you got like production companies to help other people with their projects.
Yeah, also, I've got to tell you, we also have a nonprofit too, where we're going to be teaching my book to people online who want more in depth about the book. And it's at tpsclv.org. It's the People's Studio Coalition, Las Vegas.org is the title. And we'll be teaching people how to write, direct, virtually online and stuff like that. So people can actually go in and sign for classes on that as well. If they want to get involved with that.
Bobby Peoples, thank you so much, Bobby.
Thank you, James. Appreciate it, man. And like I said, I haven't seen you in a minute, man. So
I know, right?
Vegas. I know you like we saw each other in was it Tallahassee? Where we were at?
Miami.
Miami. So I'm like, damn, now you in Atlanta, right?
Yeah. Atlanta.
Yeah, so now I'm in Vegas. Like, we missing each other. Cause we did the Christmas movie in Houston. I think you was already in Atlanta.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah,
hey, man, I'm gonna see you soon. Hey man, either in Vegas or Atlanta, but somewhere I'm gonna see you soon though, man. Appreciate it.
Definitely, man. Well, I appreciate you, man, and I see you doing big things out there in Atlanta too, man. So I'm glad to have you there, man, because keep doing what you're doing, brother.
Yes, sir. Hey, so guys, please subscribe, like, comment to this show, and we'll see you next time, guys. Peace.
Thank you, man.
Thank you so much.
All right, that's it.
That's it. Peace.
All right, man. I'm out.
All right.